Hi, I don't know what the light's like in here. It seems a bit dark to me, but hopefully the camera's picking it up okay. I'm in the green polytunnel, surrounded by bales of freshly cut hay. So hopefully that gives you a good indication of what this next small video is about. I hope it's going to speak for itself, so I'll just leave you to it. I hope you enjoy it. Haymaking is always such a wonderful time of year. It obviously happens when the weather is nice because you can't do it in the rain. So it brings that great feeling of spring with summer coming. This is an interesting shot. I was laying on the floor to get a nice dramatic angle, thinking I'm so obvious laying here, and it got to about now and I thought, I don't think Jakey knows I'm laying here. So I quickly jumped up. And he told me afterwards he didn't see me until I got up and moved. I love haymaking time. It's sort of a time of hope. The grass has been growing, you've been watching it from a muddy field a few months ago, and now it's beautiful and lush. The alpacas look quite impressed, don't they? Having their afternoon disturbed. And then just going round and round. Lovely straight lines. Jakey's a good man. He helps us faithfully year after year. Does all sorts of things around the farm for us. Cutting paths, and he's a good man to know. The other thing about cutting the hay, it turns from this amazing green grass to brown hay in a very short space of time. Just what the sun does to it. That's why you need good weather. So a day or so later, this is Jakey coming back with his tractor, and this time he's got the turner thing on the back, which is, in these days of modern equipment, it's great to see something just so mechanical and noisy. It drives up and down, just turning, moving around. I guess in the old days this would have been done with a rake. Clever little machine. So it just goes along, scatters it, throws it around, and it turns it round so that the sun gets to all the different bits and dries it out properly. And it turns from that lush green to a nice brown. And then having done that for a few days, usually about a week, depending on the weather and how hot it really is, you then start the baling. I love this bit. Isn't that amazing? How it just gathers up the bits, chunk, 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 turns it into these big blocks of hay, and then pushes them out the back. I don't ever tire of watching this process of those things. And then through the flaps and out the back into fours, and you end up with getting groups of 8 scattered around the field, which makes it so much easier to collect. There you go. You've got stacks of 8s all around the field, which then makes it nice and easy to go around with the trailer, pick up each of the haystacks and put them on. First time we ever did this, they were scattered all over the field, and it took ages just walking around, picking them up as you go, whereas this time the trailer drives to one of the stacks of 8. You pick them up. Not that that's the easiest thing in the world. Dennis made that look quite easy there, lifting it up to that third height. But believe me, that takes a little bit of effort and a technique. Socially distancing is very important. We realise that. Not always possible to keep exactly 2 metres apart. There are some jobs where you try hard, but we are keeping as safe as we possibly can. Of course, you've got the texture of the hay and the smell of the hay. And the heat this particular day was really quite intense. It must have been one of the best days of the year so far. These pictures don't really quite do it justice. You can see the strong shadows. Here's the alpacas again. We moved them over to the side just so that they were out of the way and we could go through their field without bothering them. They are fascinating animals. They just sort of observe what's going on. Wonder what's going through their brains. Jane driving the tractor this time. She's very accomplished, Jane, at just about anything. Little and large there. Poor old Rob having to reach quite high to hold that bale in place. And then offloading. You can see one or two. Jakey had a bit of a problem with his baling machine. It seems to happen from time to time where the baling twine doesn't always knot properly and you don't get a very secure bale of hay. That one's got a little bit of a sag where it's a bit loose. But the majority of them all stay together, and a few walks up and down from the field into the polytunnel where we store them, and there's another load going in all ready for the next year or so of feeding our animals.
We're going to have a cup of tea, Jay. We'll have a cup of tea once this is unloaded.
You can see a fourth level there. That was quite a good one to get the bale that high. David's height helps him there. And then right at the very end, because the baler doesn't pick up everything, gleaning is a really valuable thing to do. And of course, at the end of the day, have a nice drink together. Good day.